So, voting is a big problem that a lot of Americans are having a lot of concern with this year just because of COVID-19, and you're not actually able to go outside and do what you normally are able to do. So, one thing that's been happening in the past or happened to other countries or other states have been doing is that mail-in voting, and this idea is actually going to become well adopted because people are already enjoying it, and states have been doing it, and military people have been doing it, and it's been effective, and there's been no ideas of fraud or anything bad going to happen with it, and it will give America a chance to express their voice still, because that's what voting is. And I think it's actually going to connect more Americans to actually participate in this voting process because mail-in ballot will just get delivered to your house and you'll just be able to vote. I just thought this information could be useful and I did some more research on it. Is make sure you fill in your mail-in ballot completely out with no mistakes, because if you want your vote to be counted, it needs to be perfect, and then there should be drop-off boxes you should be able to find and just drop your mail-in ballot. But if you still want to vote in person, you still have the opportunity to do so. Go to one of your polling locations when the time's right, whenever you feel like it, and you'll have till November 3rd to cast your vote in person, and it will still be counted just like all the mail-in votes. The only thing that's going to be a little different, we won't be able to know who the winner is right away on November 3rd, and we're going to have to wait till November 5th or 6th, or maybe even a couple weeks or a week later just to know who the winner is, just because that's how mail-in votings are going to work. They're going to have to be counted by hand, and people are actually, it's going to take a while because you can mail in vote till November 3rd because that is the end of election day. So it's going to take a while for those votes to be counted because there's more than 330 million Americans. We don't know the exact number who's going to vote, but we know it's going to be a lot of mail-in ballots, and it's going to take a little while to get all these votes. And some may argue that why don't we know the results on election night? And the reason we just don't know the results on election night because that's just how the process is going to be because of COVID, and we're going to get through this time of COVID crisis, and hopefully we can just continue back to the norm in the next election. And hopefully, I'm hoping that mail-in voting can be more of a widespread thing that anybody can do even after COVID-19 because it's a fair process for people not to go super out of their way just to go vote. And I remember a story specifically I read on CNN is that this 94-year-old black woman drove 6 hours to go to her hometown just to vote. And mail-in ballot it was still, and she did it to go in person, which is fine. But you have to make sure you're in your home state. That's this voting thing. But I thought that was super impressive because I feel like mail-in ballots will allow people to it'll allow people to just do it real quick, and especially those of young age. I think this is going to be really effective because us young people like myself are really lazy, but this is going to give us a chance to just register online and then we can just get the vote in the mail and then just send it back. And it takes no effort instead of us just going out and going out of our way to register in person, which I feel like a lot of young people did not like. And I read a statistic that it was an average of 41-year-old people, 41 years of old of age is the common voting age, which is really interesting. So I'm hoping we get to see more young voters rather than just older voters, and this will also give us a chance for voters, young people, to work at the polling stations because old people can't work there because of COVID-19, which is completely understandable. So we need to see how this method is going to work. Hopefully, we have no problems with this election being rigged or fraud, and it will allow more people a chance to vote. And even in times of crisis, we can still give what we think in America.